Right, and we've been bracing for this. It's been an alert day on the books for the last few days. Greg's been tracking it tonight. Greg, what are the details? What can people expect on the way to work tomorrow morning?
Well, definitely the snow will start pretty much after around the morning commute for some areas, maybe a little bit later further south you go, but it's really the morning to about early afternoon when the snow rate is probably the highest, where roads will be an issue, at least snow covered, and we'll still have snow in the afternoon, but we also have to contend with maybe a little bit of wind going into late afternoon and evening hours too that could have some blowing and drifting. So the alert day and most of the snowfall, the heaviest, is still north of I-90. Pretty much that still remains kind of the case as we look at overall this. So really, we time it out, snow arrives for the morning commute. The heaviest, as I mentioned, in the morning hour for most areas. We'll see that. And then evening commute, we'll still have light snow going on, but it'll be hit and miss here. Still some moderate or even heavy potential during that time frame. But the wind, especially as you go further west of the river, is going to be the main factor, I think, going in. And if you look at the snow, roads and slick spots, that's really going to be the issue for snowpack and visibility too. The heaviest could reduce visibility down to a half mile or times. And then towards the evening hour, it's really the snow rate begins to drop off. The wind will probably pick up, but I think still slick spots, but snow cover will become less of a factor, probably with temperatures in the mid to upper 20s. So really it's the morning, but even the evening and going even to Friday morning with the wind continuing, some of the exposed areas could still have some issues going into Friday morning. Here's a snow that begins to push, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, around 4 to see it push over to Eau Claire. This area pretty much near Eau Claire, I-94, will probably continue to see snow. It'll extend all the way down to potentially La Crosse, but we might see a little bit break for the areas I-90 further south for maybe an hour along the morning commute, but it's quickly going to fill back in. Then we'll see that snow rate begin to pick up towards La Crosse towards probably after 9 to 11 to get moderate, maybe in a little heavier snowfall. Meanwhile, up to the north, it's just continuous light, moderate snowfall throughout the morning. In the afternoon, you'll start seeing the shift a little bit further east and south of the heavier or moderate snowfall, and you'll start seeing a few more breaks here to the west. So by the time we get to the afternoon hours, a lot more hit and miss light snow up here, probably more steady light, maybe moderate snow south of I-90 and further east. And if you see, that trend will continue to the evening hours. So by the time we get to 6, we're still seeing some light snow, but it's not as much. And the rate's there, but the wind, as you notice, northeast and eventually north is going to start picking up. And I think that'll be more of an issue once the snow kind of decreases towards the evening. We'll still see snow past 7, but I don't think we'll see a lot of accumulation past about probably 6 or 7. This is the accumulation through 9 a.m. You start seeing it kind of get closer to the afternoon hour, 2 to 4 generally up, maybe a little bit higher as you go further to the northeast. You can see generally over in our areas 2 to 4, but it starts pushing further south and east as we get later in the day. And then past that, we may pick up another inch or an inch and a half as we go throughout the evening hours, but I think most of the accumulation will probably be done by 6, a little bit earlier as you go further north. Total snowfalls, this area is still of a concern, but it does get closer to the Mississippi River further north of La Crosse, where you could see 4 to 6, and there could be some isolated areas in this band that get 7, maybe in a little bit more. It drops off fairly quickly as you go further south towards Prairie du Chien because of the drier air down there. It's going to cut the snow off and just give them a short period of snow, potentially even a little bit of freezing drizzle with that down there, 1 to 2 as you go further south. So that's what we're looking at. This could change obviously throughout the daytime, but right now it's been fairly steady that we're going to see it. So once we get past Thursday, Friday could be the wind, could have still some road issues going on Friday morning, but the weekend overall fairly dry, a little bit colder than average. But then the big story for a Christmas week, excuse me, is going to be more the mild temperatures go out that time frame. And with the snow on the ground, temperatures getting above freezing towards 40. We might have to contend with more fog issues going into next week with that setup, and then we'll see if the snow can stick around as the temperatures warm up to near 40.
All right. Well, everybody be careful tomorrow,
Yep.
wherever you've got to go. Thank you, Greg.